It can be really difficult to de-stress, and I'm hoping some of these tips will help you relax, simplify your life, make things a lot more meaningful, mindful, and help you just live an overall more enjoyable life than one that's filled with stress and worry. So tip number one is to make your room like your safe de-stress spot. So I would recommend clearing everything out of your room besides like your bed, your bedside stand, and like a book. All I have in my bedroom is pretty much my bed, my bedside stand, my book, and like some cozy socks. Ideally, I wish I could have plants in my room. That's one of the other ones I would add to kind of help, you know, create that relaxing feel. I also have in my room like a salt lamp and my diffuser, or like crystals, or like anything that kind of relaxes you, calms you down, and gives you something to kind of look at and feel happy when you see it. So I pick out like what scents I want to diffuse for the day or the evening. I'll put those in my diffuser. I'll open my window so I get like fresh, cold air coming in. I have allergies too, so that really helps me sleep better at night. And I'll turn on my salt lamp, and it gives like a nice relaxing atmosphere. And I'll leave my phone outside of my room, or I will try to, and kind of just read my book and maybe play some music or something like that. That's really going to create the atmosphere where I sleep really well, and I attempt to forget all the horrible, stressful things that happened that day. Another tip I have for people who have really stressful jobs or stressful life is to find like the one person and identify them as like your confidant that you have to text if something crazy happened. A lot of times, like with work too, one of the worst things that you could do is to like talk smack to one of your coworkers if something happened that day, but sometimes you just need to release like what has happened, and you need someone to talk to. So I find someone like unrelated to work that I can text, and they aren't going to think I'm a weirdo. Just kind of help get that stress out, and just like have someone to talk to, kind of like unleash all of the pain and suffering that you endured that day. It really makes like a world of difference to have someone to talk to. When you're working really crazy days where you get just absorbed in what you're doing, is to set a timer for however often you want to take a break, like every hour, every 2 hours, and to go and actually like leave your office or wherever you're working and get some fresh air during that time when the timer goes off. Another way, if you aren't good at following that, is to drink a lot of water, because then you'll have to pee every so often, and then I'll like force you to get up from your desk and like make some tea or something like that because you have to go pee. Set your phone to silent, or minimize your notifications that you're getting from all of your apps. Every time you get a notification, it's just that little bit of extra stress or energy that's being wasted for something that's really not that important, especially when it comes to like social media apps where you don't need to know right away, like if someone's posted something. So I actually deleted all the social media apps off of my phone so that I have to make an effort to go onto the browser to open them up. So I do that sometimes when I'm super stressed about work and I'm just worrying about what someone's gonna say to one of my emails where I might have said something weird. So I'll just turn off everything on my phone, and then I'll make sure I only check that like, you know, once every few hours or something, even like once a day if it's not that important. I also delete all of the apps on my phone that I don't use. I only have the ones that I really use all the time and really bring meaning to my life and have a purpose. My other tip is not to reply to work after hours when you get emails, and that's so much easier said than done because sometimes it is required. But what I do is I will set an away message at the end of the day if I know someone's gonna maybe try to be getting in touch with me really late, and it'll just say, I'm out of the office for the remainder of the day. I will answer all emails in the morning. And, you know, if it's really urgent, I put my cell phone number. Like if it's some disaster that's happening on one of my sites, I do have like a phone number that they can call for that. But like emails are generally like going to be for non-urgent items, so that I'm not worrying about having to respond to an email at 9 p.m. at night when I'm trying to fall asleep. They're really just people kind of freaking out and sending off as many emails as they can, and then realizing no one's around. Just make sure that you emphasize your boundaries there. Sometimes you can say, I will get back to you in the morning, and a lot of people will not fault you for that. Spend time with your pets if you have them. I find that if I'm really overwhelmed after a long day, one of the most relaxing things is to just get my cat on my lap, pet my cat or play with my cat, and like bring out the little toys and stuff, and then just like put all of my focus on playing with this animal. And it's so innocent and simple and wholesome, but to see this little animal so happy to see you, it really just helps bring your mind to what you're doing in that present moment, and it takes you away from all the stressful things. Because when you're like petting your cat or your dog's tummy, like, and it's fuzzy and soft, like who's gonna think about that bitch Barbara from the accounting department who said something horrible to you about your work that day? Like, no, it's just all about the kitty, and that's the only thing that matters. Another tip I have is I have an app. I use the app Minimalist to track all of the things I need to do for that day, or just like a standing list of all the things I need to do. And I also add in, as soon as I know I have to do something, I will add it into my list. And then it's like almost it can leave my brain for a little bit, because if I don't add it into my list, like I am going to 100% going to forget it. And the same thing goes with events too. Like the amount of times I've gotten a text message that says like, where are you? Which is like the worst thing to see, because you forgot about like something you were supposed to do that day. That could pretty much all be solved by, as soon as someone says something or you make a plan, put it into your calendar app or your notes app, and then set a notification for the day before or earlier that morning so that you remember that you have to do that day. And that's going to minimize all of your scrambling because you forgot that you had plans with a friend or accidentally flaking out on people. So I just started doing this. I do like an organic produce grocery delivery service, and they have a bunch of really good vegan options. I know in the States they have a lot of options. Canada as well is kind of coming up with some options. I know like Imperfect Produce can deliver really cheap, good quality produce. A lot of just separate grocery store chains will do that. Another tip I have is to recycle your junk mail right away, or to unsubscribe from all the emails in your inbox. So you can use unroll.me, that's what I use, to unsubscribe from all the stuff that I don't need to do. And every time I get an email for like something I don't care about, I just unsubscribe right away. I just click the unsubscribe and it's gone. It's out of my life, like one less thing to see. Reevaluate the people that you are letting in your life and cutting out people that are toxic and only bringing negativity into your life, which is absolutely easier said than done. Like, I recognize that, but generally the rule of thumb I go by is if you see a notification on your phone from someone and your immediate thought is like, fuck, like, what does this person want? Consider if they're really bringing value to your life or if they're really just stressing you out and bringing you down. You know, it's the same thing as like when they say minimize your clothes because every outfit is your favorite outfit. It's the same thing with your friends, which kind of like sounds terrible, but make sure that the people you have around you are going to make you happy. They're going to support you, and consider really like isolating the friends that don't do that, like away from your life. Another tip I have is to get a solid morning routine and a solid night routine. I'm thinking about doing a video that's like my morning routine and my night routine for relaxation. If you guys are interested in seeing that, just leave a comment below and let me know so that I prioritize that video, because I have about a list of like 50 to do. But that's one that I find really is gonna help you relax at the end of the day, and it like signals to your brain like it is now almost time for sleep, or it is now time to wake up. And to just have those few moments of peace in your day before you go to bed or before you go to work or a stressful situation can be really key in kind of balancing out your day and not just jumping up and worrying, because you know you have a little bit of time to relax and like ease into your day a little bit before you want to deal with all the work emails that came in over the night. minimize your consumption of social media and the news, but I find that the more you can step away from just what's going on in the world just for a little bit, like unfortunately we can't always step away from the issues that are impacting us, but like even if you just give yourself a little bit of time just to take that time for self-care, especially people who are activists who are fully absorbed in, you know, certain animal rights, human rights, everything, to take the time for self-care and to realize that your own health is just as important as the cause that you are fighting for. It's going to help you better serve the cause that you are working on or what you're trying to get done if you do take the time for self-care. And, you know, self-care is different for everyone. It's taking the time for what you need, whether it's prioritizing sleep, exercise, healthy foods, meditation, yoga, whatever it is that brings meaning to your life is something to prioritize in your life. So those are all the tips that I have. I hope they help you simplify your life and live a more meaningful life. If you guys have any other tips that really work for you, just go ahead and leave them in the comment section below. I make videos about wildlife biology, veganism, simple living, so you can subscribe if you're interested in seeing those. And if you click the bell next to the subscribe button, it will alert you if I post any new videos so you can see them right away.